This video is sponsored by Let's Defend, a platform dedicated to helping you get hands-on experience by investigating real cyber attacks inside a simulated SOC. Sections with the Let's Defend will be in the timestamps below to highlight my thoughts. Comment down below to be entered into a giveaway for 3 Let's Defend VIP vouchers and use the coupon code GRANT55 for 55% off all VIP subscriptions. The Security Operations, or SOC, makes for a great first position in security. If you're a student perhaps looking to make that transition into security, but you don't know which position to pursue, a SOC Analyst may be the right position for you. In today's video, I will overview the following. Basically, a high level of what the SOC is, why it's entry-level friendly, and career progression opportunities. The Security Operations Center, or SOC, is a team of security practitioners who monitor, respond, and recover on an organization's overall attack surface through their day-to-day operations. Now, SOC teams are an essential component to security as a whole, as they provide the first line and general line of defense for when an attack occurs inside or outside a company's network. SOC teams are often globally distributed to provide that 24/7 coverage. Now, a SOC consists of a variety of activities or subgroups dedicated to a specific function. So, for example, mature SOC programs, they're going to have a general security analyst, maybe a security forensics unit, incident response, a threat hunting unit, detections engineering, and then you have the log management and administration of all the tools. Now, generally speaking, a SOC works through tiers, organizing security analysts into different levels or tiers based off of their expertise, their responsibilities, and complexity of the incident that they will handle. Now, the purpose of this tiering system is to streamline the entire incident response process so that if you are taking low-level incidents, maybe your tier 1 analyst can do that, but your higher level or more complex ones go escalate to a tier 2 or tier 3. Now, speaking of tiers, in a matured SOC, like I said, 3 tiers, reviewing these 3. Tier 1 is responsible for the initial monitoring of security events. They act basically as the first line to monitor alerts and determine if they are a false positive or a true positive, and escalate confirmed threats to higher tiers based on the complexity of the attack, something that they may not be able to handle. Tier 2 is going to investigate the alerts escalated by Tier 1. They dig deeper into the incident, perhaps performing more in-depth analysis to understand the scope and nature of the threat. And this can include looking at the root causes of the threat, containment strategies, and data correlation. And then you have Tier 3, which handle the most complex and critical incidents. They conduct deep forensic investigation, advanced threat hunting, and if necessary, coordinate the response to major breaches. As you can imagine, security alerts are generated in large volumes all the time, so having a streamlined process to filter, validate, triage, prioritize security alerts, well, that's important. That's what a SOC does. So centralized tools such as a SEM are used to aggregate, collect all of this information, telemetry information from servers, workstations, cloud instances, and more. Let's see this entire process in action through Let's Defend. A Tier 1 SOC Analyst will interface with something displayed here. A dashboard that is Tier 1 SOC Analyst will interface with something displayed here. A dashboard that contains an itemized list of various different alerts broken down by severity, date, as well as the rule name, basically the trigger of how that rule was populated. So the SOC Analyst's responsibility is to go through each of these alerts as they come through minute by minute or hour by hour, depending on how verbose the alerts are. And as you can see, various different alerts are broken down by severity. So you would of course want to triage the critical ones as they come in and go down the list of priority. This right here would basically be a SEM, a dashboard that you interface with on the day-to-day. Now, if you drill into each of these findings, you're going to find various different details. And you can see perhaps the source IP address, how the alert was triggered, as well as maybe some other additional. To aid the SOC Analyst's investigation, as you can see on the left-hand side here, we have various different tools. So this would basically be your SEM, but you also have endpoint security, which would be your EDR, endpoint detection response, your email security gateway perhaps, as well as maybe a threat intel feed. And Let's Defend provides a sandbox to help you with malware analysis. So let's go ahead and triage one of these here, starting out with the critical. What I can do is go ahead and look at the various different details, and then I can go to here and take ownership. The responsibility of the SOC Analyst is to go through each of these details and investigate. So drilling into the alert here, we can see that we have an IP address of 172.16. We have the host name. And it's interesting that we have a requested URL with a little perhaps RCE execution here with who am I. So what we need to do is validate whether this actually happened. We can use the tools on the left-hand side as mentioned before, and an analyst would switch between basically a SEM right here, what could be like a Splunk, and go and switch over to something like an EDR, so for example, CrowdStrike. So they could go into CrowdStrike and confirm whether or not this activity has happened on this device. So in Let's Defend, of course, we can just go to Endpoint Security, and we can take a look at that IP address. Now, it's going to look different in the real world with a real EDR tool, but Let's Defend provides you the foundational information that you would need to triage various different findings. So, for example, processes, as you can see here, network connection, which would be the devices that it's connected to, and it also tracks your terminal and browser history. Back to log management and looking up the source IP address through their query language, we can see that there is 3 respective logs. Now, in the real world, there would probably be more logs, but this provides at least enough information for us to gather some more detail. So if we drill down on these, we can see that there is a log file type of VPN access log, and there's various different activity happening. So you can see that this curl command was captured. Perhaps this is the IP address that was connecting to it, and we can actually go back to our monitoring tab here. Okay, so we can see that this was the source IP address. Perhaps this is an attacker machine. So we know, or we can confirm, that those logs are providing the output. We can see a log out message, and we can see a login message. And finally, for the third one, this was at 3:10 p.m. This is at 3:10 p.m. as well. And there's definitely some interesting activity. Perhaps there is a shell here. So after investigating this information, we can come to a conclusion that I think that there has been some malicious activity occurring on this respective device. So once malicious activity has been confirmed, we can go and actually take action. We can start a playbook. A playbook is a set of instructions that contain what to do in a particular incident. So given that this is a critical incident, we can go ahead and start the playbook. Now, because this is Let's Defend and it's training, it's going to help you guide you along your investigation, ensuring that you perform the proper steps to collect as much information as possible. By clicking Start Playbook here, we can follow the set of instructions, which will allow us or further investigate our analysis into what's happened. So we go through these dialog boxes, and we performed some of this. For the sake of brevity in this video, I'm not going to go through all of this, but an analyst would actually go through each of this level of information, ensure that they're capturing the proper detail. So to ensure that you actually did perform the steps, there are questions at the end which allow you to see whether you got the right answer or not. So clicking through these here, we can go through each of the questions. And at the very end here, we see add an artifacts, so we can add as much information as possible for what the malicious activity is. So after the analyst has completed all of the necessary information, they've gone through, they verify that it is a true positive or false positive, they've gone through the playbook, they've collected all of the artifacts of information. The final thing to do, of course, is close this alert. So they close this alert, and you can see true positive or false positive, as well as a message. So SOC is an entry-level friendly career. If you frequent online forums, Discord servers, you may find a lot of cybersecurity students landing positions as a SOC analyst, specifically a tier 1 SOC analyst. And there's a reason why. First, it provides a great way to expose an individual to the entire security operations process and just security in general in an organization. As a SOC analyst, you are the customer of engineers' efforts, network designers, and security tools that you help proactively monitor and investigate. You use those tools to help. So you don't necessarily have to have the entire context of security. It just provides a good opportunity to learn. The SOC exposes you to various opportunities while also giving you hands-on experience with incident response, forensics, and more. And the SOC also provides career progression. So with those tiering systems, each tier provides another level of expertise, knowledge, and skills. And you can grow your skills within each of those tiers to eventually get promoted into that next tier. Eventually, you will be the practitioner who manages, writes, and provides the services being consumed by the tier 1 SOC analysts. So if you're an individual who's thinking, okay, this perhaps is right for me, but you don't really know what to do, there's a lot of resources out there that can help you expose you to what a SOC environment would look like. And if you want to learn more about monitoring and triage and remediation, as you guess, today's sponsor, Let's Defend, can provide all of those necessary skills to help you become a SOC analyst. We've already seen how an incident can be triaged from the initial alert all the way to remediation in Let's Defend, but here are some other fun little features that can help you become a SOC analyst. In addition to the practice module, which helps you refine and build skills related to investigation, triage, as well as validating a particular alert, Let's Defend has various different tracks. So if you are an individual, for example, that doesn't really know what's going on here, that's okay. Let's Defend is here to help guide you and actually build those skills. A few features to outline here. If we go over to Learn, we can see that they have a huge archive of content related to various different skills related to a SOC. So we can actually go filter down or drill down by role, and we can actually see what we want to do. So for example, right now, I'm actually trying to get into detections engineering. And so I can actually go through and click detections engineer and see all of the different content or skills that perhaps would be relevant for me. Now, as a SOC analyst, you can just go ahead and click security analyst, and you can see all of these different modules. Now, you may think, okay, this is great, but man, this is a lot of information. There's 399 modules here. So what's really cool is Let's Defend actually has broken this down by learning paths. So if you wanted to be a SOC analyst learning path, we can actually go through each of these here. And as you can see, there are different chapters or units of information where this is the relevant information where we would actually go through and learn. So by going through each of these units, we'll start acquiring different levels of skills and really acquire the knowledge to help aid in our investigation. And what we can do then is go back to the practice module and practice through each of these alerts. Now, each of these alerts are real information, as said. They're real CVEs that are being released on a daily or weekly basis. So this is actual relevant information that you would actually see in a real SEM. If you want to take your practice to the next level, in addition to what you see here, Let's Defend also provides an archive of challenges. So you can go through each of these challenges. They're similar to the practice modules, but they're more like CTF, little bites of information that you're going to go and do various different things. So like kernel exploit or various different CTF type challenges. Finally, the last thing that I think is really cool about Let's Defend is they provide a sandbox module, which allows you to perform malware analysis. So you can use those modules to go learn malware analysis, and you can do it all through your browser. You don't have to worry about installing random virtual machines. It's all through Let's Defend. So Let's Defend, a really cool platform to help you build the skills to become a SOC analyst or really anything in the blue team. You can use the link in the description below or up on the screen to find out more information on Let's Defend. One of the main reasons why I actually partnered with Let's Defend on this video is you don't have to sit down 8 hours a day and practice. You can work on a few alerts here and there throughout your day if you have a little bit of free time, and it helps you build those foundational skills, and that's what I really like. So consistency helps you with solidifying your skill set, and Let's Defend provides that. Thanks to Let's Defend for sponsoring today's video. It does help support the channel, and well, hopefully you have found this video useful and informative in some way. Yep, and until the next time, have a good day.